Hello. We're here with Sabyasachi Chandra, Head North America, TCS Utilities Business Unit. Saby, thank you for attending ARC's Forum 2019.
Thank you for having me, Mike.
Saby, can you share with me what your views are on the upcoming trends and business problems faced by utilities in North America?
Absolutely, Mike. As a matter of fact, unlike some of the other industries, utilities started their change little late in the day. For the last 10, 12 years, we have been witnessing a significant transformation that's happening in the utilities industry. As you know, that we work with number of Fortune 500 utilities, and there are some common trends that we have been experiencing. One is, the important nature of grid to make it more intelligent, more real time. To have the real time data to make intelligent decisions have become more important, especially with so many storms and other fires and all that happening. Making it resilient, is one of the key trends that I see. So people are spending a lot of money after grid modernization. Second is, until recently, unlike the European market or the Australian market, it was vertically integrated in the US and in North America in general. However, for the last few years, markets have been opening up, especially states like Texas, Maryland, New York. Customers have the choice who they get their energy from. So as a result, customers are no longer ratepayers. They have become as important as in the retail industry. So customer experience, building customer advocacy have been of paramount importance of late. Third, I think utilities are being pushed to innovate new business model, especially with the transactive energy coming into play with thousands of DERs, which really pose a lot of challenges in terms of integration, in terms of settlement, in terms of security and all. And all this is coming at a very low cost because of the consumerization of the energy, of the technology as well. So all this are basically forcing utilities to rethink their strategy, to come up with a new business model, rather than shying away from these challenges, how to embrace this risk and see how they can create new business model to make more revenue out of it and take the challenges head on. And finally, while customer greed and new energy are bringing in a lot of changes, I think we should not forget about security. I think cybersecurity has become very important because of all these changes, especially if you look at nuclear, all the CFR 810 regulations, the entire grid is being governed by NOC-SEEP. So these things are really changing the way the utilities operate. Now, these 3-4 things, if they are primarily from the business transformation perspective, I also see that utilities are really trying to transform their operating model by embracing more digital technologies, whether it is moving to cloud, whether it is bringing in more analytical capabilities to dissect and bisect the data to make intelligent decisions, whether it is cognitive automations, IoT. So from the operational sides of things also, along with the business transformation, I see a lot of trends emerging, which is probably going to define how the utilities are going to operate over the next couple of decades.
So could you speak a little bit about how you see an organization like TCS helping solve these problems for utilities?
Sure, absolutely. In fact, we are working very closely with the CXOs of these companies. We are, right in the middle of their strategy making. When they define their yearly or 3-yearly or 5-yearly plan, we actually engage what we call the phase 0, which is exactly where things are being conceived. New initiatives are being formulated for the next few quarters or years, and I'll be a little bit more specific in terms of how we are addressing some of these changes. One is, at the corporate level, we have defined a strategy which we refer to as Business 4.0, which has got 4 pillars. As we look at more and more changes in the utilities industry, what we see that utilities are not by themselves. There are so many ecosystem players who are working with the utilities, whether you call the DERs, whether you talk about various technology companies which are making things possible. So how do you leverage your ecosystem to deliver more value to your customers? That is one one pillar of Business 4.0 is ecosystem players. So that's how we are addressing that aspect in the utilities industry. The second pillar of our Business 4.0 framework is what we call the mass personalization, which means every customer is unique. Every customer is expecting you to be proactive, personalized, faster in your communications to them. Especially, like I said in my earlier comment, that many states are opening up for retail competition. So I think there is a immense need to help some of these retail players to ensure that they are able to deliver services to the customers the way they like. Okay, so mass personalization is another pillar of Business 4.0, which we can directly relate to the utilities trend. The third one is delivering the exponential value, which is as you can see, many utilities in the east or in the west today, they are creating new marketplace to provide you with multiple services. It is not just delivering gas or power to your home. It is also about delivering maintenance services on your appliances. It's delivering thermostats or other devices. So essentially, and also there is an utility in the west who have actually used the disaggregated load data to do the customer profiling in 2017. So as you can see, the utilities are providing exponential value to the customer. A utility is no longer just a player who will provide gas or electric or water. Rather, there are a lot of products that customers are expecting. And finally, the fourth pillar for Business 4.0 is embracing the risk rather than shying away from it. So like I said in my earlier comment that, with a lot of local players, especially with the consumerization of the energy, now there are many players in the marketplace which are really posing a big competition for the utility. So rather than just ignoring them or getting worried as to what do you do, we are working with utilities to see how we can really help them embrace this risk and come up with new solutions. One example would be in Australia, New South Wales, which probably has the highest penetration of solar in the world. I think every third home has got a rooftop solar. So our team has actually come up with what we call a solar value chain, which starts from all the way from siting of the panel to monitoring diagnostics to the final settlement and billing and all that. So that platform, we are working with some of the local utilities there to really address some of this competition and create new revenue stream for you. Now, these four pillars of embracing risk, exponential value, mass customization, as well as partner ecosystem, these four are being supported by our innovation and technology group, which has got a number of offerings in terms of IoT, cloud, analytics, digital workplace, blockchain, conversational system, IoT, automation, and so on. So these are the new service lines that we created. We moved away from the traditional infrastructure, BPO testing kind of offerings in 2017 to more digitally aligned service lines, which is making us, making it possible to apply these Business 4.0 pillars and helping utilities embrace the change.
So how do you see digital transforming utilities? And can you just give me an example or two?
Yeah, I'll probably give a couple of examples. There are many that we have been working on, but maybe I'll take one from the East Coast and one from the West Coast of US to substantiate my view about how utilities are embracing digital. So in the West, one of the large utilities, they went through some major incidents back in 2010-11, which resulted in some casualties as well. And they really went through a major transformation using IoT and automation and all to revamp their asset data, to revamp their entire T&D systems for both gas and electric, to make it more intelligent. So that's one program where we help them to using the power of automation, analytics, and IoT to make them more relevant, for the customers where they operate, to provide them with safe, reliable, utility. That is one example. The other one is that in the East Coast, there was this utility which was formed after a merger of 5 different utilities, and their JD Power score was at all-time low. So we worked with them to rebrand their company, They were reborn as with a new name, and we created a completely new digital platform for customer engagement, which we put in the cloud, and which had got a lot of analytics built into it, so that they can understand the customer sentiment, what the customers are talking about them. So it's almost like delivering customer experience as a service to them, which has actually helped them really regain their brand reputation and score high in the JD Power ranking next time when they did it. So these are a couple of examples, one in the customer side, one in the grid side, where I see applications of cloud, analytics, automation, and IoT are playing a real important role to make them relevant for their customers.
Well, Saby, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Mike.
This is Mike Guilfoyle from the 2019 ARC Forum.